with Lutz Ziob from Microsoft. Lutz, tell us your thoughts on blended education. How do you see blended education in the future?
What I see happening right now is, and in fact it's always been the case, that education is embracing modern technology to become more effective. Ironically, one of the biggest innovations in education has been almost forgotten by now. It's called the book. Being able to print books allowed us to dissociate learning only by following someone and mimicking someone, and you suddenly were able to read about something that is necessary. So the next wave, what will happen is we will use modern technology, which basically means we have all the multimedia, all the communication means at our disposal to learn in a more effective way. But what is highly important and always will be important is the quality of the design. It's the quality of materials that you will use, and it's the quality of the teachers and coaches and co-students that you interface with. What is really revolutionary today is, because of our technology that we have, the boundaries are geographically and maybe even time-wise can be almost totally removed. So suddenly you have access to the brightest minds, to the best materials, and to best co-students that normally you are confined to your physical location. So we see, and I strongly believe, that the future will be blended, but it doesn't mean that the human factor, again, as a teacher or a co-student, will be diminished. It probably will be amplified, because now suddenly you will realize that being stuck with a teacher that's not good enough, being stuck with co-students that are motivated, will not be acceptable. And our experience in our commercial world is, we have about 1,600 training partners around the world, everything from a small to a large organization, literally in every country. As they migrate into blended learning, they report back that they are able to reach new audiences.
One of the things I mentioned in the article that's quite unique about blended education is that, unlike in the real world where people can get left behind in a program, no one gets left behind because they're forced to interact on the platform asynchronously. So they're not left behind, and they have an opportunity to think and reflect upon the class before they can comment on it. So the testimonials we're getting from students are actually saying that it's a richer education and they get more out of it, as you were saying.
Yeah, I think the biggest predictor of educational success, in fact, is the motivation of the student, right? Nothing replaces it, and you have to find ways where that motivation is amplified or is being initiated with a student. And that problem exists in a physical classroom, and that problem also exists in online. But you're probably right. It is harder to totally drop out and be unnoticed that you dropped out, because it's so easy to track what the contributions are and where you are. What I really like in the way you describe it is, I think the magic happens when you blend the two. So you have the ongoing engagements being an online engagement, but you have periods in between where you do meet face to face, and you have that engagement as well. I personally believe that the combination of those two probably gets you the best of both worlds.